This is one of my favorite videos to film, and I'm just so excited right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elena. Hi, nice to meet you. If you're old here, welcome back. I'm glad you're back. I had a fantastic reading month. I had one of the best reading months ever. I found so many amazing books. I did only have 2 5-stars, but I had so much fun reading this month. I read 11 books. I read 11 books. Me, little old me. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I don't know how this happened. So we're going to talk about the 11 books that I read in May. And if you haven't watched it yet, you should go and watch my June TBR jar video. The books in that video. The books that I will be reading in June. Also, thank you so much for 850 subscribers. Y'all are popping off. I love you guys. And I love talking to you in the comments, so please talk to me in the comments. A lot of people comment more on my shorts on YouTube than my YouTube videos, so please, if you want, talk to me. I want to hear about your reading. I want to hear about book recommendations. Please let me know. So, should we get into the books that I read this month? I think we should. The first book that I started out with this month was The Perfect Marriage. I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed this book. I was reading it and I was like, wait, do I know what's going to happen? I kind of knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know that would also happen. And I thought there was another person involved. Like, it was one of those books where it kept me guessing, which I thoroughly enjoy. Let me tell you, this is about a woman named Sarah and her husband Adam. And Sarah's a lawyer. She's like baddie. She's a lawyer baddie, and we love that for her. Her husband is a writer, I believe. He's like struggling a little bit, but she is holding the fort down. Then Adam, he sleeps around. He is with this girl. Her name is Kelly. Let me make sure her name's on the back. Yeah. Her name is Kelly Summers. So him and Kelly are just having a grand old time, even though he's a married man with a wonderful wife. Yeah. And then she turns up, Kelly turns up dead. So yeah, now that Kelly has turned up dead, murdered, Sarah is going to represent her husband in the court case because, you know, they all think it's Adam because he was with her. And his wife is going to defend him. I could never, but Sarah did that. So, find out what happens. I sound like a movie. Find out what happens in the next scene. No, but this is a really good book. It kept me guessing. And I'm not going to give any more away. You should read it. It's a fun time. And I really did enjoy this book. And I gave this book 4.25 stars. So, highly recommend. It's a really fun time. I then jumped into One by One by none other than Freida McFadden. And if you know anything about this channel, you know I love Freida McFadden books. They are super fast paced. They're usually not that long. This one didn't even hit the 300-page mark. And they're always keeping you intrigued and wanting you to know what's going to happen. So this is about Claire. And Claire is having a hard time in her marriage. And she has all these friends, but you know, she really wants to work on her marriage. So she's like, hey, let's go on a trip. I don't know if she said that or someone else said that, but they end up going on a trip, okay? Then, get this, the minivan breaks down that everyone's in. It breaks down in the middle of the woods. The middle of the woods. Do you know what's going to happen now? Now, one by one, they're going to mysteriously be... What's the back of the book say? Struck down, essentially, one by one. So one by one, people are... no longer with the group, is what I will say. And you have to find out what's happening. I can't tell you when I knew because it'll give it away. But I knew right when I needed to know. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, and that's why I gave it a 3.75 stars. I think I'm really good at picking up what's going to happen. But I feel like if you don't know what was happening and you couldn't guess what was going to happen, then you probably would have given it a higher rating, but I knew it was going to happen, so 3.75. But highly recommend all of this woman's books. They are amazing. If you feel like the lighting change, it might have. Also, I'm filming my first video on my new phone. The quality is probably so much better. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I had the 11 Pro Max and now I have the 15 Pro Max and I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah, I changed the lighting a little bit, so hopefully we look better because the sun just decided goodbye. So the next book that I read was Give Me More. This is part of the Salacious Players Club books, and this is my favorite by far. If you watch my It Ends When, my video about it ending when I get a 5-star. This was so close to being a 5-star. It's hard for me to give these kinds of books 5 stars because when I think of my favorite 5-star books, they're usually not this kind of book. If you know, you know. But this follows Drake, and if you know about the Salacious Players Club, there's a club, and they're all involved in it, okay? But this is about Drake. So Drake is traveling with his friend Hunter, who's his best friend, and Hunter's wife, Isabel. Let's just say Drake starts having feelings for Isabel, and not just Isabel. Anyway, just know I gave it a 4.5, and if you like these kinds of books, I highly recommend. And just know that there is like a trope in here that I never read, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know how to say anything about this book because I don't want to give anything away. Do with that information what you will. I will not go into further detail. I don't know how to describe that book. And then I went a whole different direction. See, I was over here, way over there, over there. And then I picked up this book and I was way over here. I picked up The Nightingale. Holy cannoli. I can't believe I just said holy cannoli. This book, the tears that I shed, the tears that I was shedding. This book was amazing. This writer is amazing. I was never bored at any point in this book. I feel like I was always wondering what was going to happen next. And when you find out what the Nightingale means, so this book is about two sisters who aren't that close, but they both endure a lot during World War II. The Germans come into France, and this is set in France. The Germans come into France, and the sisters have to deal with different things that are happening while the German soldiers are there. And let's just say both sisters are amazing in their own different ways. And the only reason I did not give this book 5 stars, the only reason is because of one thing that happens at the end of the book. This whole book is amazing. Like, talk about World War II and what happened to the Jewish people, and just getting a glimpse of what people went through, because you're not able, like, you weren't there. You can't actually know what they were going through, but you can read about it and learn about it. And I mean, it leaves you speechless. The thing towards the very end that made me mad that I cannot say because I don't want to give it away. Oh, the tears were flowing. The tears were gone. They were gone. They were left my body. And I was just so upset. But anyway, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. It's 4.5. Just know it's about World War II. And just know that it's about what happens during World War II with the Jewish people and what they went through. So, highly recommend though. It's amazing. It is a long book, but I'm telling you, every word of this book was needed. The next book that I picked up, I was convinced was going to be a 5 stars, but it was still beating. This was something I've never read before. This book had me feeling so many different emotions that I didn't know I could feel when reading a book. This book follows Cora, and one night she's at her sister's like birthday party, okay? And they leave and she's still there. I think it's like a bar. And then like all these bad things happen. So she ends up having to call her sister's fiance, who she hates. Like, they hate each other. They are not friends. They are always teasing each other, being mean to each other. His name is Dean. And they end up getting kidnapped together. Dean and Cora, who hate each other, end up getting kidnapped together by this terrible person. And they have to help each other to survive. This is very heartbreaking, very much trigger warnings for this book. I believe it has a page of trigger. Yes, it literally has content warnings. It didn't hit the 5-star mark like I thought it would. It's 4.75 stars for me. But literally, very dark. One of the darkest romances that I've read because of what happens, I think, in my opinion. Actually, I don't know. I've read some dark books. I recommend it if you like dark romance. But if you don't read it. The book I'm about to show you was a 5-star read. My first 5-star read of this month. I read Archer's Voice. This book has hype for a reason. This book's about Archer, and he has a lot of things that have happened, and he doesn't talk to anyone in the town that he lives in. But then this girl walks in. Her name's Bree, and Bree also has a past. She's going through all of that. She wants to, like, kind of go somewhere and not think about anything, and she stumbles into Archer's life, and he's mysterious and doesn't talk, but then, you know, he kind of grows fondly of her. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Just know there's a lot in this book, like a lot. And it made it beautiful, and I just think this is a beautiful love story, and it's 5 stars from me, and I understand the hype, and I'm upset that it took me so long to read this. Everyone should read it. I don't know what else to say because I don't want to give away anything, but 5 stars from me. 5 stars. It deserves it. Honestly, amazing book. And then I started wanting to go on walks. I've been walking a lot, 2 miles every now and then, you know, not on the days I work. Heck no. But I wanted to listen to a book, so I listened to Local Woman Missing. So I picked up Local Woman Missing and I listened to it on my walks. Local Woman Missing was one of those books that I kind of knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know to the extent. But basically, this woman goes missing. So this woman goes missing, and then another woman's daughter goes missing. And she's like 6 years old, okay? She goes missing at like 6. And then she shows up 11 years later, and everybody wants to know what happened to her. Everybody wants to know. I know. But if you don't read the book, you will never know. So maybe you should read the book, because I gave it 4 stars. But I will say I never think about this book. I feel like it's hard for me to think about thrillers. Like, I don't remember everything that happened in this book. I'll be honest, like, I really don't. I just felt like it was a fun time to listen to when I was on my walk. So I listened to this, and I enjoyed it. And if you say audiobooks don't count, I don't care. In the end, I was like, oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that was that. But, yeah, 4 stars. The next book I picked up was for one of my book clubs, and I was the one that picked it. It was Done and Dusted. This is about Clementine, and Clementine is, I'm gonna call her Emmy because they call her Emmy in this book. But just know she was in this small town, and then she left and pursued her dreams and became a rider. She rides horses for a living, and she's like really good at it. But apparently then she has an accident. I don't know. And then she's like, I can't get back on these horses. So she doesn't. And she goes back to her hometown. And that's where she sees her nemesis, I guess. His name is Brooks, Luke Brooks. And he is also her brother's best friend. And he is like protective of her, but also doesn't want to form any kind of relationship with her because she's off limits to him. Well, little do you know. It's a romance book. So, yeah. I don't know. It's a romance book. It's cute. It's literally so short. The page, like the font doesn't even go down to the whole page. It's very quick and easy read. I thought I was going to like it more than I did, but the writing in this book, I'm sorry if this is like kind of mean. I don't find it to be mean because a lot of people like this style. It was very simple. There wasn't much that had to go into it for me to think about. It just was a simple, fun read. So if you want simple, fun romance book about cowboys and stuff, read it. This is my first cowboy romance, so I will be picking up another cowboy romance. I gave this book a 3.75, and it was good. It was just like not great. It was in the middle. We talked to book club. Everybody gave it a 4 star basically, besides me and another girl, and I mean, I recommend it, so read it. Simple, cute, fun romance book about a cowboy. Then I jumped into the rule book. Actually, no, I started reading the rule book early in the month, and it took me forever to read this book. And then I went to the beach and I binge read it. I feel like when I'm reading on the beach, I need to have like a fun cover. I don't know, that doesn't seem to be true because the next book I show you, also I read on the beach, and it does not have a fun, cute cover. But I ended up finishing this book at the beach, and let me tell you, if I wasn't on the beach reading this book, I don't know if I would have finished it this month. I don't know. So this is about Nora and Derek, and Derek is an NFL player, as you can see, and Nora is an agent. But little do we know, they have passed. They have passed together, and they dated in the past, and apparently Nora broke Derek's heart, but we don't know why. We don't find that out until later. He needs an agent, and Nora becomes his agent, and then they have this rule book, the rule book, that they follow. And then one night they go to Vegas. They get really drunk, and they're married. I won't say anything else. But it's super cute. It's super fun. I don't know why I wasn't like connected to these characters or anything. I really wasn't. But after reading it on the beach, I gave it a 3.75 because I did like the ending. Like I liked the middle. I liked the ending. It was good, but just know it took me a long time to get into this. But it ended up being cute after, you know? And then I read my other book club book, which was You Shouldn't Have Come Here. Wait. This is the same author. I didn't know that. I read You Shouldn't Have Come Here on the beach. I binged it on the beach, basically. This book had so many twists and turns. This book takes place over days, okay? Like, you read, and it says, like, day 1. And it says, like, day 2. Hold on. See, like, it takes place over a couple days. So this book is about Grace. And Grace is like, you know, I'm tired. I really want to go on a kind of vacation, like, reset kind of thing. So she books an Airbnb. And there's this man there. His name is Calvin. And he is there, and he is the host of the Airbnb, and he's also staying there the entire time, which I think is weird because why are you renting out a place that you are also staying? Anyway, so she gets there, and she finds out, you know, that there's no cell service. There's also, like, you know, people that have gone missing. Not to mention, he is also there, so that's kind of strange, right? Well, they start falling for each other. That's not really a spoiler. I believe it's on the back of the book. Yeah, it literally says they start falling for each other. And, you know, things happen from there. And just know it's kind of spooky, kind of mysterious, kind of thrilling. I had a great time reading this book. I gave it 4 stars. Not anything crazy. Kind of knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know to the extent that things were going to happen. But I gave it a 4 star, and I had a good time. So I recommend if you want like a fast, easy read. This next book, the love that I have for this book, when I tell you this book had a chokehold on me, when I tell you I was on page 200 texting my friend that she needed to read this ASAP so I could have someone to talk to about it, I have never loved a male character as much as I love him. That's a lie. I really do like a lot of male main characters in books, but he was literally the definition of if he wanted to, he would. So basically, Emma and Justin are cursed, okay? Emma and Justin have this, like, curse about them. That they go on these dates, and then they break up with the people that they're dating. And then those people find true love. They find them one, the match. They marry them, okay? So they end up finding each other and having the same stories. So they decide, we need to break this curse. We need to find the one that we're going to marry. We need to do that. So what if we go on dates? And what if we break up and then we find the one? So not only does that happen, but they also have real life stuff that happens. So yes, they end up dating or whatever to find their soulmates. But they also have things that are going on that are real life. And Emma has a parent that is very much a problem kind of in their life. It's like a toxic relationship. And Justin also has a problem where he ends up having his 3 siblings. Like, he's the guardian of them, okay? So they have a lot going on. But throughout all the stuff that's going on, they still do their dating. I want to tell you what my favorite page is. It's 392. It's 392. And when you get to it, please read the paragraph. The big paragraph on page 392. I never told you what I gave this book, but I gave it 5 stars. Pretty sure it's obvious, but in case you missed it, I gave this book 5 stars, and I love it. This is the feeling that Happy Place and Beach Read gave me, and that's why I'm just telling you that you need to read this book, because if this book can do what Emily Henry's books do to me, needless to say, I will be going back and annotating this book because they're amazing. And also, there are freaking drawings in this book. This is a good one. This isn't the one I wanted to show you, but they have little drawings sometimes at the end of the freaking chapters, and that is so cute. That is all 11 books that I read in May. Wow. How did we get here? I don't know, because I feel like I don't have this much time on my hands, but I guess I do. This was an amazing reading month. I enjoyed almost all the books to they were almost perfection. And we found 2 5 stars out of this month, and I just had a great time. I really did. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And talking about books makes me so happy. So really, if you want to comment and talk about books with me, please, I will respond. I will. It's just what I do. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!